Well, we are following breaking news right here on WBZ. So we have just learned that the jury in the Karen Read murder trial is deadlocked. We are staying on top of this for you here. WBZ's Penny Commit is outside of the courthouse in Dedham right now. Penny, I don't know if there's supporters outside close to you, if you're hearing anything from them, and if that news is spreading that the jury is just saying they cannot come to a unanimous decision here.
Yeah, Brianna, it turns out that that wasn't a jury question, rather the jury telling the judge that they cannot come to a unanimous decision. That means it is a hung jury. Now, the judge had the option to either accept that and declare a mistrial or send them back for more deliberations, and she decided on that second option. She said that there has been so many witnesses in this case, 74 to be exact, over 600 pieces of evidence, and the fact that they've only deliberated for 4 days, not even a full 4 days, she says that she doesn't feel that's sufficient to allow the jury to hang as of now. So she sent the jury back for more deliberations. Who knows how long they'll continue to discuss before they come back and tell the judge again they reached a decision or they didn't. But for now, a hung jury. The atmosphere here is a little tense. I will say the number of Karen Read supporters has really increased as the morning has gone on. I saw a lot of people listening and expressing disappointment that the hung jury wasn't accepted. You have to remember, if it's a hung jury, then there's two things that can happen. Well, a mistrial first will be declared, and then the prosecution can choose to or to not retry the case. Some of our legal experts have said that if it is a hung jury, they believe the prosecution will try to redo the case, maybe with some different charges, or that could just not happen at all, and Karen Read could walk out a free woman. So that's where we're at right now. The jury sent back for deliberations after telling the judge they just could not reach a unanimous verdict. So we'll have to see what happens throughout the day, but looking like this could really spill over into next week, Brianna.
Okay, Penny, thank you so much. Outside of the courthouse in Dedham there, we are back with Cheryl Fiandaca on the desk to continue chatting about this. So if you're just joining us now, essentially the jury in the Karen Read case came back and said, we are exhausted. We are in day 4 of deliberations and we cannot come to a unanimous decision. And the judge was not happy with that. Judge Cannoni, she essentially said that's unacceptable. You're going to go back in.
Right. She's saying at this point in time, you haven't talked enough about this.
Yeah.
You haven't deliberated long enough
right.
for you to say that you're unable to come to a decision. They're saying at this point in time, they've been unable to come to a decision. But as we've been talking about, I mean, this has been a very long trial. There've been a lot of witnesses. There have been a lot of exhibits. It's also been, as we've talked about, very polarizing. I mean, some people really believe what they believe in this case, and you know that the Commonwealth is right, and some others believe that the defense and what they're saying about the case is right. So there's a lot to sort out here. What she's saying to them is, you know, take a minute, have your lunch, don't talk about it during lunch, clear your head, and come back at it. It's a difficult thing. You have 6 men, 6 women in the jury room. You know, you don't know what type of personalities you have there, but you know how difficult it is to have anyone agree in any kind of consensus. It's always challenging, and this is there's a lot riding on this case, a lot.
Do you think jurors in a case like this can, they use the word exhausted. What do you think the jury is feeling like right now? They've been in this trial. They've seen, like we said, over 600 pieces of evidence, 70-something witnesses. How, if you can put yourself in their shoes, how are they feeling?
Well, you have to think they know that all eyes are on them, right? They know that this is a very serious trial. They know that it's gotten a lot of publicity and there's a lot to it. So they're taking their job very seriously. At the same time, when you're discussing things with people and whatever your view is, and you're very animated about it or you're very confident about what you believe, it's very hard for you to see the other side of that, and it's very difficult to be willing to accept that there could be something you could consider that's not what you currently believe.
Right. Some feelings of frustration, probably, I assume.
Of course. All of that's combined. But it's early in the process, and as I said, the judge told them to go back out. She'll probably tell them to go back out again. There's an instruction that she can give if she believes they really are at the point where they're basically deadlocked, to try to nudge them.
Okay. But you said
forward.
She'll wait a little bit before.
I think she will. I think she'll wait a little bit before she does that. That's kind of a last resort.
Okay, yes. We did hear her say to them, literally, please go eat lunch, clear your head, take a minute, and then I want you to come back to this. So
Right.
we will see. They do not go home until 4 o'clock or so. So we'll see if they're able to come to that today. But it does seem unlikely if they're at this stage of the game, and it may or may not go into next week. So we will continue to follow it here. We'll have updates on BZ, streaming on the CBS News service here. So we will see what happens. It is certainly such a polarizing case, and this is not entirely surprising that this is where we're at.
No, I mean, I think that folks have been watching this all along, and you know, since we haven't been in the courtroom, you don't know when people are testifying what they're thinking. Do they believe this person? Do they believe what this person's saying?
Right.
They're assessing their credibility. There's a lot that goes into it.
A lot that goes into it. All right, Cheryl Fiandaca, thank you for that analysis.